The only problem with putting together a list of the top 10 NES games is that everyone's is going to be different. Seriously, not one single list is going to be the same because there's so damn many classics and everyone has their favorites.
So the main things we did while putting our list together was A, make sure we choose only one game per franchise, and B, when we popped it back in, we could still play it for hours upon hours after all these years.
You may be saying to yourself, isn't this kind of generic for a ScrewAttack Top 10? Well, yeah, but we had to do it. That clunky gray box shaped gaming into what it is today. Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 NES Games.
Number 10.
One of the most underappreciated characters in video games. It's about damn time Pit got some time in the sun. Kid Icarus combined aspects from a lot of your favorite games and brought them into one.
Dude, you just rhymed. That's funny. The multiple styles of levels made gamers stay on their toes while still kicking ass. And what better way to get to the level you want than with a password? Yeah, it was a password pack. Is that a lowercase L or an I? I can't even tell. I can't even read my own writing. Damn it!
Number 9.
Now this is where our list is probably a little different from a lot of people's, but the bottom line is Batman on the NES makes us want to pee our pants with excitement every time we pick up that controller.
Multiple weapons, jumping off walls, and one of the best soundtracks on the NES. Then you throw in top-notch controls and perfect difficulty. Man, Batman was a total package, just like the movie.
Number 8.
We figured that while we could talk about Final Fantasy, no other person would be better to do that than the man behind the Final Fantasy retrospective on GT, Brandon.
I think the best thing by far about the original Final Fantasy was the fact that you could pick your characters. You had 6 different classes that you could pick. So, even when you beat the game, you kept thinking, what if I went back and I played with all red mages or all monks? And it had a really good story that was a lot more developed than I think of other Nintendo games at the time. It had a twist at the end, which not a lot of games did. And it was really, really hard.
Yeah, what he said.
Number 7.
Making the jump from the arcade to the NES was generally a pretty bad translation. Games usually saw a dramatic drop-off in every category across the board, but Ninja Gaiden said screw that and pumped out sheer greatness.
Is it Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden?
Ninja Gaiden! Hey!
Well, that didn't help at all. The first time gamers were introduced to the top ninja of all time, Gaiden floored gamers with an in-depth storyline and the best cinematic cutscenes there were. For $5 on the Virtual Console, this is a must-have.
Number 6.
Falling blocks are awesome. The most popular puzzle game ever, Tetris is simple, addicting, and has a rockin' soundtrack. One of the coolest things about Tetris was the appearance of the NES characters after you dominated Game Mode B. Man, Mario looks pissed.
This ending actually tells a lot about the future of some Nintendo titles. I mean, Donkey Kong's playing the drums, Link is playing the ocarina, and Samus is playing a cello.
What the hell are you talking about?
Number 5.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. The code that was brought to the table in Contra will live forever. Not only because everybody knows the code, but also because it gives you 30 damn lives.
Fast-paced, difficult run-and-gun action. We were introduced to giant-ass bosses and a number of different power-ups to just mow through the bad guys with. But let's be honest, the only one that really mattered was the spreader.
Number 4.
We had such a hard time deciding whether to put Mega Man 2 or 3 on the list, we had to have a tiebreaker. Which game is better, Mega Man 2 or 3?
2.
Alright, Mega Man 2 it is. But hey, if you got a problem with it, you take it up with High School Ben, not us.
2.
This was back when Dr. Wily's Robot Masters were actually robots, and not stupid-ass things like Boomer Kawangers. What the hell's a Boomer Kawanger anyway? I want robots. Killer robots. With fun names.
Well, you say that now, but according to Mega Man 2, within the next 2 years, the world's gonna be populated by these evil robots, and they're all gonna have their own stages. That's reassuring.
Number 3.
Yeah, we know the big shocker. Samus is a chick. That's pretty cool. But I think a lot of people get stuck on that and forget how great of a game the original Metroid really is.
You know, you got a point there. The immense amount of power-ups, huge levels, and of course, the memorable Justin Bailey password that scored you the green-haired, scantily clad chica with a gun for an arm. This was one of the first games that you actually had to stop and write down the password because it was so damn big. Hey kids, it's time for Handsome Tom's Useless Knowledge!
Nintendo actually wanted to put a battery pack in the game for saving in the US version, but sales didn't do so well in Japan. So instead, they put it in our next entry.
Number 2.
Zelda is worth its weight in gold. Inspired by Miyamoto's childhood experiences of playing in the woods and destroying Octoroks and giant man-like pigs, this open-area free-roaming experience was GTA before GTA was even a concept, just without the whole hooker murder and firearms thing. Man, only if Miyamoto hadn't grown up so sheltered.
As we mentioned, this is the first game to feature a battery pack to save games, so Nintendo heads wouldn't have to worry about their passwords. Just make sure to hold down that reset button when you're done playing, or you could lose all your data, and that would suck.
Let's recap that 8-bit greatness before we get to number 1. Number 10, Kid Icarus.
Number 9, I'm Batman.
Number 8, Final Fantasy.
Number 7, Ninja Gaiden.
Number 6, Tetris.
Number 5, Contra.
Number 4, Mega Man 2.
Number 3, Metroid.
And number 2, Zelda.
It's number 1.
This is what Mario is all about. Now you may be saying to yourself, man, what a predictable choice. But it's not just us who think Mario 3 is the best NES game ever. Everyone does.
Super Mario 3 is the best game of all time.
Super Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, Super Mario 3, definitely. I'm a girl.
The secrets were everywhere in this game. And who can forget the first time you saw a giant Goomba? There were so many different power-ups, some of them don't even make sense. A bear that turns to stone? Who thinks of this stuff? They've got to be on drugs.
And the sucker is packed from beginning to end. We could talk for hours about how great it is, but we suggest you take your happy ass and sit it down in front of your TV and re-experience it for yourself. You'll be thanking good old Stuttering Craig and Handsome Tom when you're done.